Hey y'all, Assalamu alaikum. How y'all doing? Yeah, it's a rainy day. Still, I did a video talking about it didn't rain much, but it seemed like ever since I did that video, it's been raining just about every day here. But it's okay because sometimes it stops and the sun just beams like it never rained, you know. But and also the rain is beautiful. Rain is beautiful here. I don't know if you can see it. Let me see if I can give you. Nah, sun's shining too much, or the sky is too lit up, or something. Let's see. There you go. There you go. It's beautiful. So it's been raining pretty consistent now. But anyway, man, this rain, sometimes it just makes me wonder and make me think about different things. And today, this morning when I got up, I was kind of thinking, you know, um, I wondered actually, did our creators create us in their best interest or our best interest? If you know anything about the story of the Anunnakis, what they did was they came to this planet to mine for gold, right? And when they discovered the gold, I think somewhere, I've heard some scholars say, somewhere in Baghdad or Iraq, somewhere over in that area, they found gold. And when they found the gold, they didn't want to mine for it. When I heard this story, my first thought is, why would they have to mine? They have all this power. Couldn't they just just make it, just take the gold up with their powers or something? Why would they have to physically mine it? But anyway, in this story, what they end up doing was summoning the falling angels. The falling angels they were Anunnaki gods too, just not as supreme as uh, a select few, that had supreme power. Inky, Enlil, you know. So the falling angels came down and they mined for the gold. They mined the gold for thousands of years, right? But then it came to a point where the falling angels were fed up. They were like, look, y'all gonna have to find another way to get this gold, right? They stood up to the Anunnaki gods. And they told them they're gonna have to find another way to get the gold because they were done. They were tired. They didn't want to do it anymore. So at this point, this is where we came in. So what the Anunnakis did was infuse our Homo erectus DNA with their very own DNA and bring us about, right? So what that tells me is that we were not created, to live a peaceful life, to have love and light. We were not actually created for those things. No. We were created to essentially do the things that the falling angels refused to do anymore. So, in other words, we were kind of like slaves. So we were not created in our best interest. We were created in their best interest, right? Now, this also makes me wonder, and it also connects some of the things that I grew up at that time believing. I find it to have some validity with the Christians when they said the devil got kicked out of the heavens and he got kicked down to earth and became ruler of the earth. Well, it kind of looks like that's the case. You know, with all of this, you know, genocidal and wars all over the place, fires and destruction, it's just a mess, right? So it kind of looks like that's the case. And so many people, so many of us, we pray outside of this third dimension, this physical world, and we want to connect to the spiritual world. So if the power is in the spiritual world, that kind of tells me that the spiritual world is more heavenly. And if that's the case, that's the same place that the devil got his butt kicked out of. So if that's heaven, what do you think this is? And the devil is the ruler of the earth? That tells me that you're already in hell. Yeah. So you ain't got to worry about going to hell because you're in hell. That's my opinion. And another thing I like to say is if you know anything about Brother Yakub, Yakub was also, from my understanding, an Anunnaki. And he came down here and created a race of people to rule over his own people, for 6,000 years. Now, so many of our scholars say Caucasian race people have only been here for 6,000 years. That makes me think, and so many of us think, that their time is up because Yakub only created them to rule and dominate over his own people for 6,000 years. So it tells me that their time is up. This is what a lot of the scholars think, and I kind of think so too, you know. But it looks to me like they didn't really get their rulership until after the end, just nearly the end of the 6,000 years. Because as far as I know, they've only been in power enslaving us, again, for a little over 500 years. So, you know, it just seems like we can't catch a break. I mean, you know, everybody's waiting for something or something to come and save us. You know, but even when I look back at the Anunnakis, they actually created us not in our favor. You know, you had one that didn't want you to have a high level of consciousness, and you had another that wanted you to have a high level of consciousness. But you know, even when they left the planet, if they left the planet, yeah, we had kingdoms and we had empires when we were the only people here on earth. But did we really have peace? Because we were warring with each other. Yeah, when there was no other people here but us, we were fighting, trying to take each other's kingdoms and empires down. So maybe you can share some light. Give me your perspective on these things, because these are the things that I'm wondering, you know, trying to connect the dots. So if you have some insight, man, go ahead and leave it in the comment section. These are just my thoughts, from my study and trying to connect the dots. So, and if you've seen that movie Get Out, this came to my attention too. You seen that movie Get Out? Okay. Well, don't worry about it if you haven't seen that movie, because you're actually living the damn movie. You're being programmed to do shit that you don't want to do. You're having spells cast on you every day to make you submit. And you're also being forced to do shit that you don't want to do. How many of you are getting the shot out of fear? Did you really want to get it? Did you bother to ask what's in it? Did anybody? I tell you, something just ain't adding up here. This is not right. But I don't want to bum you out or anything. But yeah, I roll with the Anunnaki theory. I definitely do. But I just had some questions in regards to that too. I mean, it's obvious that they did not create us in our best interests. They created us in their best interests to mine the gold, to do the shit that the fallen angels didn't want to do. And it just about seems like shit. We've been kind of like in that stuck territory for quite a while now. Slave territory. So many of us now have slave mentality. It's kind of hard to get out of. I encourage prayers or meditations. That's the only thing I can suggest, because for me, meditation is being able to connect with a higher power, and also to connect with our ancestors that are actually in the spiritual realm. Because, like I said, if that's a spiritual realm, then what realm are you in? If that's heaven, what is this? I think it's hell. And you're being tricked and manipulated to do all kinds of shit. The devil is the greatest at manipulation. So, but anyway, just a thought. I don't want to bum you guys out. If you got some light for me, drop it in the comment department, man. I'd really like to read through some of this so I can get your outlook on it. But anyway, till next time, Salam Alaikum from the Bayside Jewel. Peace.